Why the hell are you here? And now back to... Sup dudes, my name's Dakota and welcome back to Let's Play Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. We are finally back with another trial this time around. As of the last two videos that has been out, it's been a long investigation, that's for sure, with them trying to introduce new mechanics like the blood, luminol testing, and the fingerprints. It's just they're trying to introduce a lot of stuff into this, and it's just like, dude, it's really hard to really get into when they're trying to explain everything and try to introduce all these new mechanics, and it's just like, I don't know, you can definitely tell this is different, way different than how the rest of the trials have been so far. But yeah, the last investigation was just super long with, and it's not really obvious what you're meant to kind of do, at least for me. I maybe other people kind of like figured out easily, a lot more easily, where to go and what to say. It's just like you had to present certain evidence, and even then, some of them wouldn't even open up like another option for conversation. So thankfully, we're back into the swing of things with the trial. It says trial forward, which means there's gonna be another freaking trial. Freaking right from this crap. Frick. But anyway, let's get ahead into this episode. February 24th, 9:41 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 2.
So, what do you think, Mr. Wright?
I think the prosecution is as confused as we are. Good joke. Oh, tell me about it. There was a lot of like evidence that we found, a lot of blood, with the two different like, I guess the two different like murder scenes, one being in the parking lot at the prosecutor's office, and another being in the evidence room. Apparently this is where Goodman died. He died in both places, but how can that frickin' be? I don't know. See, this is where we found a lot of blood here. Or fingerprints, or wherever the frickin' crap. And we know that in the evidence room, Edgeworth went in there, Goodman went in there. There's a number that went twice, and then there's a freaking lucky 77777 at 420. Holy frick! So, I don't know. Got this glove, we got this jar. Hopefully this is a lot easier to point out. After all,
the victim was murdered in the two different places at the same time, and a different suspect was arrested in each of the crime scenes. Lana! Good morning, Mr. Wright. I apologize for yesterday. I was indisposed.
I hope they didn't hold you too long for questioning.
We just finished, actually. I used to all-nighters, though.
What the hell? They stuck you in questioning all night? Holy crap.
So, how'd it go? It as Mr. Wright suspects. The police are clueless. I figured as much, so I struck a plea bargain. A plea bargain? What do you mean by that? We agreed that if I told them the truth behind this simultaneous murder, they wouldn't see capital punishment. That's what I mean, Emma. Alana! Don't tell me you... Much to my regret, I'm as much in the dark about this as they are.
Miss Sky. We found trace evidence of a certain person in the police department's evidence room. It belonged to Officer Jake Marshall.
What kind of trace evidence?
Blood-stained fingerprints, to be exact. That's the trump card I have up my sleeve today. You do understand what this means, don't you?
In order to defend my sister, you're going to accuse Mr. Marshall.
We have to play the cards we're dealt. Isn't that right, Miss Sky?
Do what you have to do, Mr. Wright.
Mine is like weird here because like she's not like she hasn't really said like really anything alongside of just, oh, I did it. I murdered Goodman and that's that. Again, I feel like she's defending somebody. So, and the only person I can really be suspicious of is Gant. You know what I mean? He is menacing and he popped out of freaking nowhere. So it has to be either him or some other entity, but I can't see it being anybody else, though. February 24, 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 9. Holy frick, that's what are we doing? Going downstairs for the trial of Ms. Lana Sky. This episode is freaking confusing as hell. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is... I'm afraid you have to clarify. I can't understand these kids these days. It takes 30 minutes by car to reach the police department from the prosecutor's office. Yet, the victim, Prentice Goodman, was slain in both places at the same time. But that's not easily possible, is it? What's more, I hear the victim from the evidence room just disappeared.
Yes, and the body eventually reappeared in the trunk of Mr. Drew's car.
Wow, this is one messed up trial. One of my duties as prosecutor is to present impartial evidence. Today, I will present evidence relating to the murder of the police department. In so doing, I believe in the way in which we should proceed will reveal itself.
Now that's what sets Mr. Edgeworth apart. He sounds so on top of things. I just want to... Even though he doesn't know what is going on himself.
Not supposed to be in a marble trait. Very well, let you try to resume. On the day of the crime, what exactly transpired at the police department? Mr. Edwards, you may call your first witness of the day to the stand. For his first witness, the prosecution calls the suspect on the murder that occurred at the police department. The suspect? You mean the so-called murderer? Oh boy. Things are getting wild from the get-go. Oh no, not this guy. No, he's gonna do his stupid air horn thing. Oh no. Will witness please say his name and occupation? Yes, sir. I am Officer Mike Meekin, sir. My occupation is, that would be murder, sir. So you're telling us you're a professional killer. Ugh. Sir, it was me, sir. I'm the one who did it. I'll never kill anyone again, sir. You gotta believe me, sir. Oh, no. What actually would like to hear? Sir, I'm what you would call part of the younger generation, sir. A person whose actions adults can't possibly comprehend. Please, Mr. Adversary, help me, sir. Officer Minkins. Yes, sir. Give us your report of the crime. Consider that an order. Yes, sir. As you wish. After all, I'm a part of the generation that must be told what to do, sir. Can't fault him for the lack of enthusiasm. God. Oh, God. Crime report, sir. Oh. I will say part of his personality is kind of funny, but it's just that freaking air horn, dude. It gets annoying. Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room. I was only doing what I was trying to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. I fought for my life, and then I did it. After that, I passed out. I went to another officer, smacked me awake. Tell your victim detective Gabby attacked you. Do unto others before they do unto you. That's the Meekins family motto, sir. I see, then you fainted, and the colleague helped you regain consciousness.
Yes, sir. You knocked me upside the head, sir.
Right, well, the things may begin this examination. What I need here is more info to work with. Come on, Meekins, please. Please! That was not my normal dude. I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. Yeah, I'm just gonna press for now. Mr. Meekins, you work in the General Affairs Department, do you not?
Yes, sir. I'm in charge of hiring new recruits, sir.
Yikes. Now there's a scary thought. Evidence transfer was taken place on the day of the crime, which meant many officers were given special tasks not orderly performed.
I was in charge of guarding the Blue Badger, sir.
The Blue Badger?
Yes, sir. The lovely police, a pet mascot created by the chief of detective, sir.
Oh, that frickin' thing.
I was so sure it wasn't broken during the transfer process. Look how scary it is, dude. That was my sole mission on the day, sir.
Gives me like 5 Nights at Freddy vibes for some odd reason. I see. Sounds like a very, important mission.
After the award ceremony finished that day, there were so many people running around. They relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room.
So that's why you went to the evidence room.
Oh, when did you see when you got there?
Spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room. Hold it. Ordered into the evidence room. You need an ID card, am I correct?
Precisely, sir. I have one right here around my neck.
So then, your ID number should be listed on here, right? Oh. If he was able to get in.
There it is! I found it! This is the one right here.
Can you please read us the number?
Yes, sir. It's 4989596. That's my number, sir.
I see. Huh. But the number 4989596. It's twice. It's shown as being used twice. Please explain, witness.
It's not real mystery, sir. First time is when I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. And the second time is when I went to go get him after everything settled down.
I see you was during that second time. When?
Yes, sir. That's when I was spotting the man on the security screen.
Okay, so that was Meekins. Figured if it had to be him and no one else. Huh. Why is Marshall's fingerprints there? That's what I'm trying to figure out here. Meekins went in twice. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I've suddenly attacked. So you were attacked. Can you please tell us exactly what happened to you?
It was a knife, sir! A knife!
Got you good and you put a knife on you. What happened then?
Well, when we charged it in like that, you looked as surprised I was.
You aren't exactly the kind of person someone would want to run into.
That's when I reacted, sir. I swapped my arms like an octopus, struggling to entertain him. Until I got this gash on my hand. Maybe you just kept your cool that your hand wouldn't be. When I saw the blood trickling down my arm, I panicked. I grabbed the man by his collar.
Fought for my life, and I did it. I did it. What exactly did you mean when you said you did it?
I know I don't look the type, but I'm really into Kung Fu films, sir. The man let his guard down for just an instant, so I snatched his knife from him.
You took his knife.
I spun him around and performed a disarming maneuver. I made sure to close my eyes like a man.
I see. You must have been desperate.
Next thing I knew, his white coat was drenched in a sea of my blood. And then, the next thing I knew...
Yes?
He punched me right in my face, sir!
Oh. I'm trying to talk over this freaking air horn. I passed out until another officer smacked me awake. Hold it. About what time did you regain consciousness?
No offense, sir, but how am I supposed to know that? I was unconscious.
Oh, right. According to the report from the officer that woke up the witness, it was about 5:30.
Hit me right in the head, too. I
I woke up crying in tears of pain.
That's nice. I mean, it's nice you recovered, that is.
When I came around, though, I made sure to finish my mission, sir.
Your mission?
Yes, sir. The Blue Badger, sir. I returned to the entrance before things got out of hand.
Well, all the rest easy now. I believe we can now get a fairly accurate picture of what happened.
Yes, Your Honor. Only one thing remains unclear. Was the man this officer murdered really the victim?
He's got a point.
Yes, Officer Meekins. I was going to say, like, Marshall was dressed up as Goodman. With regard to that, sir, take a look at this. It was sent to my jail cell. Chief Gant delivered it to me just this morning, sir.
The Chief delivered it.
What is that, videotape?
Yes, sir. That's absolutely right, sir. Videotape, sir. It contains footage from the security camera in the evidence room. What? But I specifically asked if there was such a tape, and was told it had been mistakenly erased.
It's quite a mistake.
I just do what I'm told, sir. It's the only thing I'm really good at.
Looks like communication with the police department is as good as ever. We're all in good hands.
Well, then let's have a look. Show us the video of you murdering the victim.
Oh, please stop using that word murder, sir. It scares me.
The video of the real murder. So what are we getting ourselves into? Okay. Oh yeah, this is completely different now.
Yep. Now we're definitely getting, Okay, there's the Goodman. Time. 1440. Okay. The glove fell out. Saw that. I'm gonna get up, sir. Here I go. Excuse me, sir. What the? Time to die. Oh, don't do it. Okay. This is 5:15 now. I'm dead, sir. The Goodman's gone. Wait, what was that? Was that like the coat? Oh! I did it!
I believe we're all thinking the same thing. How can we deal with these unsettling feelings stirred within us?
What the hell was that wriggling piece of plywood? Sir, it was the pride and joy of the entire criminal affairs department, sir. It's the Blue Badger, sir.
Why am I not surprised this isn't going smoothly?
Okay. Yeah, you can definitely tell this is a very different episode than what we're used to. This was, again, on the DS, so they were capable of having this sort of thing.
Yes, well, anyway, this tape seems to prove that the witness did indeed encounter someone. In the evidence room, some sort of activity that took place.
Your Honor, instead of relying on clearly incomplete footage, the witness's testimony will suffice. Is that alright with you, Officer Meekins? Yes, sir! As you wish, sir! Alright, Mystery Man. Alright, this is probably where I'm going to pick it apart. His face can't be clearly seen in the video, but there's no question that the other person was Detective Goodman, sir! I mean, he opened the locker, which required Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do. Locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir! So it must be him! No one else could have unlocked it!
What is this about a fingerprint?
Each detective has been given a locker equipped with a fingerprint-activated lock. These locks ensure that each locker can be opened by the detective it belongs to.
Intriguing, that would mean the victim at the crime scene would have been Detective Goodman. Very well, the defense may begin its drug examination.
I don't know where this cross-examination will lead. But everything begins with contradictions. That's where I have to start.
Okay. I didn't really see anything when he was talking, but... Alright, am I able to go back in here? Oh my god, I gotta actually freaking watch it all the way freaking through! Can't, like, fast forward. Wait, the locker... Hold up. The light was already lit up. It was already open. I was looking at the locker, and the locker was already open. I saw the light. I don't know what to present here, though. I gotta say that the light was on. Damn it. He opened the locker. Okay, wait, here we go. Damn it, what the fuck? Do I present the tape? Okay, here we go. Alright. Like, my point I'm trying to say here is, like, the light was lit up. So, like, it was already open by the time he got to the locker. It's just like, do I present the locker? Which means, like, oh, when it lights up when it's already open. Or no, I had to present the freaking tape. Frick!
Regarding the video contained on this tape, there's one thing in particular that seems rather strange.
Strange.
This contradiction leads to the possibility that the man may not have been Detective Goodman.
What? This video contains such a contradiction.
Interesting. Your Honor, I have a proposal.
Yes, Mr. X-Wit.
I propose we have the defense point out to us this alleged contradiction in the video. He would want me to point it out.
Very well, proposal accepted. Let's further inspect this piece of evidence. I will now play the security tape. Mr. Wright, please show us this contradiction you speak.
I have to point out a problem in the video. This is the first time I ever had to do that.
You can do it, Mr. Wright. It's set up so you can use fast forward, rewind, or pause the video. Just take a good look and be sure to point out the right thing. And please don't play it too many times. I can't stay watching this video.
How did this guy ever become a police officer?
Now, Mr. Wright, please enlighten us. Where is this contradiction that indicates the man may not have been Detective Goodman?
Okay, fast forward. Okay. We want to point the light.
The thing that's strange about this video has got to be this. Officer Meekins.
Sir, do you miss me, sir?
As I understand it, the locker apparatus works like this. When you grab the handle, a sensor reads your fingerprint. If it's a match,
Beep.
the light turns on and the lock is released.
According to my very limited experience, that's the way I understand it, sir.
If so, then something is seriously wrong with this picture.
Alright, we're going to point out that it was opened.
Right?
Slowly walk over.
When the victim reaches for the handle to open the locker, let's rewind a little earlier.
Okay. Wait. So that other locker that we saw Marshall's fingerprint, that thing wasn't there before. Before he walked in. It was only then when he left.
Here, notice the light.
What's this? It's already lit?
Precisely my point, Your Honor. The locker was already open before the victim grabbed the handle.
Alright, shut the fuck up. What's the meaning of this?
It's very simple, Your Honor. The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime. But the locker and locks are controlled by an electronic system. When a door is shut, a sensor is triggered, and the locker is automatically locked.
Oh, I know. It must have been broken down. Of course, I'm not an expert in this.
That's not exactly, Your Honor. The sensor would detect and report any malfunction.
Ah, well, I guess you obviously should keep their mouth shut. Tell them, Mr. Wright, do you have an explanation?
Me, Your Honor?
Yes, why was the locker locked?
Me, Your Honor?
How goes that glove?
Yes. Well, you see, this isn't exactly my field. What do you think, Miss Scientific Investigator?
Huh? Oh, maybe something like jam the system sensor.
Something. Jam the sensor. Say, there's something else that seems out of place in this video.
Yeah, I thought so too. There's got to be another clue somewhere in this footage.
Very well, let's inspect the video once more. The locker was unlocked. Mr. Wright, please point out the cause for this.
Alright. It was the glove, right? The glove that popped out. No. And then, as soon as he opens, boop, right there. Glove.
Please watch closely. This is the continuation of the part I showed you earlier.
Correct me. Now, do. Slowly walk to the locker that's already open. We haven't gotten to the part where Mika's like tries to Metal Gear this. Boom, glove.
What's this? Something white fell out of the locker.
But sir, it's been my experience that things fall out when doors are opened. After fallout and roll, great distances were around my car. What the heck?
Can't be sure that the item was completely inside the locker to begin with.
What do you mean?
The sensor triggers the lock when the door is shut. What if something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door?
It inserted?
Oh my god. God damn it. Look at it again, guys. Do. Slowly walk over here, open, and boom, glove.
This white thing wasn't inside the locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor.
Oh, I understand now, sir. It's just like my tie. 2 out of 3 times it gets stuck in the door when I get out on my patrol car, sir. Instead of the door closing, and my tie chokes me.
But the object would have been extremely thin to fit in the door.
Not only that, it would also have block electrical currents. It would need to be an insulator.
Yes, an insulator, but at the crime scene,
There just might have been something that fits the description.
Sir, my insulator, you know what I mean?
I think I finally got this figured out.
very well. Will the defense please present the relevant evidence? What was this insulator that was stuck in the locker door?
The glove.
Extremely thin rubber glove.
Found this near the locker. A thin rubber glove.
We can't be sure that was in the victim's locker.
Yeah, as attacked. That says SL9 incident. Yep, remember that incident, guys? We just love our incidents. The video seems to depict the victim opening the locker. But that isn't the case. The lit lamp attests to this. On the day of the crime, even I could have opened that locker. Is this not so, Officer Meekins?
Sir, it would appear so, sir. I'm choking myself out.
People, shut up! You already believe then that the victim, whom his witness stabbed in the evidence room, was not Detective Goodman?
Do not be misled, Your Honor.
What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
The defense is merely demonstrating the possibility and nothing more. The victim in the video was indeed Bruce Goodman. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this. What? Officer Meekins, please testify about this.
Sir, me, sir? I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir. Oh, you mean that, sir? Of course, sir.
Is this a joke?
Very well, begin your testimony.
Mystery Man 2. Okay.
There's one other thing that proves the man was Detective Goodman, sir. Did you have in his room one must use their ID card?
An ID card is used. There's a record of it. At the time of the crime, the detective had to use this card.
An ID record. Card I see.
I have the ID card record here, Your Honor. The ID used at 5:14 is that of the victim.
Guys, before the crime. Yes, without a doubt, this is the victim's ID. However, one thing does strike me as unusual. The other indications should have been due for transfer. Why were there so few people using this room?
This particular evidence room is only used for storing certain special cases. Special cases? Extremely violent cases among the police staff.
Just hearing that makes my hair stand on end.
Me too. Although it doesn't make much of a difference. There are only a few cases up before transferal there, and most were cleared up by noon.
Right, I see. Now, let's move on to the crime examination.
So we're saying that he had the ID card. But this was at the prosecutor's office. So what does that mean? If Goodman... At the time of the crime, the detective had used this card. Can I present it here? Because it says it was at the prosecutor's office. There we go.
Wait, one moment, Officer Meekins.
I'm not gonna wait it, sir.
I have the victim's ID card right here. Found it at the crime scene.
That makes sense.
When I say crime scene, I'm not referring to the evidence room at the police department. I mean the other crime scene. The underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. Your Honor, I have one more piece of evidence to present. It's a very important clue regarding the victim's ID card.
Lost item reports. It's only half completed.
But it shows that Detective Goodman had lost something on the day of the crime. Something important enough to fill out this report. Let me ask, you believe this something to be his ID card, right? I can't say for sure, but there's a high probability. On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his card.
Alright, people, shut up. So now, what does this all mean?
It can only mean one thing. It doesn't even require much thought. The man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman, but rather the man who stole his ID card.
Order, I will throw my freaking gavel at all of you. Shut up. AC prosecution have a response.
I have only one thing to say to the defense. Bravo, Mr. Wright. Bravo. Allow me to summarize the defense's argument. At 5:15 p.m. on the day of the crime, the man in the evidence room Officer Meekins encountered was not Detective Goodman. There are two grounds to support this. First, the locker in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second, the victim lost his ID card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright? Yes. What's the two? That being the case, we must inevitably arrive at a single conclusion. If the victim in this video is a fake, then the murder in the evidence room is also fake. In other words, the security camera does not show the instant of the murder. That is... Well, I guess that's right. There's something wrong, Mr. Wright. Only moments ago, you seemed content to pointing your finger around. This isn't going to end well. Well, it seems you finally realized exactly what you've gone to such lengths to prove.
Explain yourself, Mr. Edgeworth.
The defense has already done the explaining for me. The victim in this video is a fake, which means a murder did not take place
I freaking die!
at the police department at 5:15 on the day of the crime.
So
the real murder could only take place at one location, the underground parking lot. At the prosecutor's office, the murderer being Miss Lana Skye, the defendant. The evidence is compelling. A trustworthy witness observed the moment the defendant used the murder weapon. Ah! I knew that testimony was way too shabby. It was all a trap from the beginning.
The activity in the evidence room still leaves many questions unanswered. Who exactly was the victim Officer Meekins encountered? Where did this person disappear to? However, this trial's purpose is to examine only the murder of Detective Goodman.
Yes, so, Your Honor.
Mr. Wright, you had to do something, or else Lana.
What do I do? How am I supposed to get myself out of this mess? Wait for what? No, freaking eject, dude. You have to eject. One moment, Your Honor. What now, Mr. Wright? Don't tell me you're objecting to what you just proven. Of course not. I almost walked right into the prosecution's trap. What are you talking about? This cross-examination has proven one thing and one thing only. Freaking die! The security video did not show the actual murder.
And then, boom, gone. I'm dead, sir.
Let's see, where did he go, though? That's the thing. However, it cannot be said that this is unrelated to the murder in the parking lot. Specifically, large amounts of blood traces were found in the evidence room. The defense demands further examination into the truth of the matter.
Mr. Edward?
Yes, Your Honor.
It is court for you to examine this further when other witnesses will be necessary. Mr. Price is prepared.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. The prosecution considered the incident at the police department to be unrelated. We have not prepared any other witnesses for this incident. This just might be my chance. Time to call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand.
Mr. Wright, do you mean?
Your Honor, the defense would like to request a specific witness.
Oh? Who do we have in mind?
Someone we have reason to believe who knows the truth. The truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room.
Damn it!
The prosecution requires to hear this person's name before deciding whether or not to comply.
Very well then, Mr. Wright. This person whom you will have to testify, what is his or her name?
It's Damon Gant. It's Mike Meekins. No, it's Jake Marshall. Officer Jake Marshall. Why him? I can't let Edward know everything just yet. He's in charge of the evidence room. I feel we should hear what he has to say. The prosecution agrees to the defense's request. Since he was responsible for guarding the room, we should hear his testimony. Fortunately, he works in the police department. We shouldn't need longer than 20 minutes to prepare.
Very well, the court would take a 30-minute recess while the witness is subpoenaed. But would the prosecution please prepare the witness during this time?
We will, Your Honor.
Court is now in recess.
Damn. February 24, 11:32 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. What? What do you gotta say, Lana?
There's no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright?
Huh? What do you mean?
You called for Jake Marshall. It seems you figured everything out.
I haven't figured anything out.
Lana, you're the one who knows everything. Emma, you always know everything. Why did you just tell us? Mr. Ray is trying his hardest to protect you. I don't recall ever asking for his protection. How can you be so cold? Don't you trust us? Don't you trust me?
How about not interrupting anything, pals? Oh. Guess I am. I'll come back later. Bye.
Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it?
You got a lot of nerve, pal. Making a detective run all around while on duty. And on top of it, you call me here. I've seen half of your people at funerals.
Sorry, Detective.
You better be, pal. Hey! Hey, hey, hey! 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 I didn't see you there, Chief Prosecutor's guy.
That's okay. So, have you brought what I asked?
Oh. You mean this, right?
My apologies, Detective. Due to my present circumstances, I was forced to use Mr. Wright's name when making my request.
My name?
Never in a million years would I have thought it was you who asked me. Can I bother you to bring me the SL9 incident files? I'll need them by noon. Talk about crazy.
The SL9 incident?
Alana, that's... I thought Mr. Wright might need him, so I had them brought here. Here, you might do well to read them.
I can't believe you, the Chief Prosecutor, were a witness in that case.
This guy was a witness? Files for the Joe Dark killings solved 2 years ago. Okay, hold on. Let's see here. Closed. Jake Dark, serial murder, sentenced to death. Edward Jones, Jason Knight, Edith Kirby, Rachel Moss, Jeb Bates, Neil Marshall. Probably related to Jake Marshall. Trial data. Head prosecutor is Miles Edgeworth. The witnesses Lana Skye and Emma Skye. Oh, Emma was also a witness. Investigation Task Force. Executive investigators was Damon Gant and Lana Skye. Okay. Head investigator Bruce Goodman. Investigators Jake Marshall, Angel Starr. So yeah, they were trying to bring this one up before. Okay.
Take it from me, you don't want anything to do with serial murders. Oh, what? How about you your stuff? You're just gonna ignore me.
Emma? But why? Why is your name in here?
What? My name's in there? I don't know. Unless... No, it couldn't be. Lana, this SL9 incident, is that... That's the classification number the police filed it under. 2 years ago, the rest of the world knew it as the Joe Dark killings. The Joe Dark... No, Lana! That's over with! No!
Emma, wait! She ran away.
You know what? I just remembered I gotta be somewhere. Sorry, pal, but I'm out of here.
Jake Marshall, Angel Starr, Damon Gant, Miles Edgeworth. Not to mention Lana and Emma. Everyone involved in this case is connected to those killings 2 years ago. This can't be just a coincidence.
No, Neil, you just might be able to figure it out. Time to get back to the trial, Mr. Wright. Best of luck.
I better take a good look at this file. Okay. To be continued. To be continued. Okay. I'm going to try to keep going with this, since it's just the trial. But we're opening up some stuff here. I'm probably going to bring up the Neil Marshall. That's like the only real thing I saw there. Of course, they got like Damon Gant and whatnot. November 24, 12:14 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 9.
Can't we now reconvene for the trial, Miss Lana Skye?
Emma didn't come back. Want me to call the next witness in the stand? The officer in charge guarding the evidence room the day of the crime. Oh, here we go. Witness, please say your name and occupation. Me, partner? Oh, I'm just a man, same as you, wandering the trails of civilization. Occasionally helping the elderly cross intersections when needed. Yes, we get it.
I know, you're a patrolman.
As for my name, if you listen hard enough, you can hear the howling wind calling it out. To be exact, it's Jake Marshall, Your Honor. Howling wind. Never heard Edgeworth described that way before. No, Mr. Marshall, let me ask you something. You were in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day the crime took place. This is correct. According to the papers, partner.
What do you mean?
A desperado soul is as boundless as the desert sands. No paper can sum it up.
Any space we get along with this quickly. Please share with us your testimony of the day of the crime. In plain old English.
Alright. The only guess is that Marshall was dressed up as Goodman, and then he put the coat or whatever in the locker. Because I saw in that video where like it had nothing in there first, and then when at the end of it, it had something in there. That day of the crime. My job was to keep a wary eye on that bone orchid. They said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyway. If I remember right, I was at the street side saloon at the time it went down. I'm just an innocent traveling man, so if you're out of ammo, it's time I hit the trail. Okay.
I can't say I particularly care for your attitude.
I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining.
Wait a minute. What do you mean by 2 security systems?
I mean the security cameras and the ID card reader. I reckon even a cowpoke like you knows about those.
Yes, well, what about the fingerprint-activated locks on the evidence lockers?
Fingerprint-activated locks? What kind of newfangled new hickeys on those?
He's not being very helpful. He's not very good with machines or with following orders.
Everyone's got their weaknesses now, don't they, Mr. Prosecutor?
This one seems like trouble. Okay, Mr. Wright, he's all yours.
Well, if he doesn't know about fingerprints or the fingerprint sensors or machines or whatever else. Okay, it was already locked. Because I'm trying to look back. Yeah, I don't... Whatever. Do I just present the, I'm an innocent traveling man, so you're out of ammo. Okay. Here we go. We're just gonna freaking throw it out there. Officer Marshall, doesn't it strike you as odd? That is, you being called in to testify like this. After all, you weren't in the security room at the time of the crime.
And yet you dragged me down here. Explain yourself, partner.
Quite simple. You left a very large trail behind the scene. Or to be exact, a handprint.
Listen real good, partner. Like I said, I'm the caretaker of that crypt. I pay my respects, that is, make my rounds about once a month. It's only natural my fingerprints will be in there.
Only wish you were, officer. But you see, your fingerprints were covered in blood.
Wait, wait a minute, this. Your blood-stained fingerprints were at the crime scene?
The blood was wiped away. However, a luminal test clearly revealed this. Well, Officer Marshall,
it seems to me there ain't a person in this room with a head on his shoulders.
I'm taking you have an explanation then, Officer Marshall, about the blood-stained fingerprints.
Very well, you may begin your testimony about your fingerprints found at the scene of the crime.
Alright. Blood-stained fingerprints. We're busting through this one.
Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in that evidence room. One of them just happened to be at the same place the blood-stained handprint. The murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. The bloodstain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. Or did you know the murderer was wearing gloves? See, I had nothing to do with it.
Sure, the witness's explanation appears valid. Although there's room for doubt.
Life wouldn't be fun without any doubt, partner.
The defense may now cross-examine the witness.
This guy's hiding something. I can feel it. That's my chance to prove it. Well, just happened to be at the same place as the bloodstained handprint? Murder touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. Bloodstain and the fingerprints are completely unrelated. Or didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? Oh. Yeah, no. Okay. Might just press for now. Unrelated. They're as different as night and day. Kinda like cereal and cereal. One's got to do with breakfast while the other's the type of murder.
He's right. Although simply alike, they're totally different.
I don't see why homonyms had to do with this. Okay. Or didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? How do you know that? I may be a loner, but I'd still do my job. I keep up on the reports. Nor the bloodstain at the scene, thought to be left by the murderer. That's right. It was found on Detective Gumshoe's locker. However, no fingerprints were detected on that handprint. Oh yeah, I think we tried that too.
So that we mean the murderer wearing gloves happened to place their hand on top of the Officer Marshal's fingerprint.
That's the only logical conclusion. Let me squirm out of this one. Gotta find something decisive to tie Officer Marshall to the crime. No. My thoughts like, no. Alright, let's just go from the start here. That's because you. How did you put it? Pay your respects once a month? Yeah, that's right. That and one more thing. That locker happens to be mine.
What? What do you mean?
I mean what I said. That lockers I used when I was a detective. The lock I still use. All that's in there now, though, is a heap of broken dreams. I see. It'd be strange if my prints weren't all over that locker. Apparently his fingerprint data was never removed from that locker's programming. He must have been using the fingerprint lock all this time without ever knowing it. Aha, wait, here we go. Are you starting to get the picture, partner? The picture? This sealed blood and the desert. And the desert is just food for the buzzards. There's only one reality, and that's this. The security tape. So long as my trail isn't in there, you can't say otherwise.
This isn't getting us anywhere, Mr. Wright. Please consider carefully where you're going with this card examination.
Yes, Your Honor.
I can consider your testimony.
Too bad it wasn't me in that video, right, partner? Okay. So, if that's the case, and we're going to say that his locker was used, do I do the video, or do I do the locker? Do I do the handprint? If it was on his own locker... Damn it. You guys like see where I'm trying to go with this? Because, like... Damn it. What do you mean by that? You want to tie me to his crime, isn't that right, partner? If so, the video is the only direct evidence you have. But that video is next to useless. It's full of blind spots.
Blind spots?
Places you can't see. The camera's panning back and forth. The floor isn't shown. If someone was familiar with the camera's position, they could leave the room without being caught on tape. We don't have time for your speculations, Mr. Wright.
Well, Mr. Wright, if you can show us the evidence in this video that indicates Officer Marshall was present, please do so now.
Alright.
Very well. Allow me to point out your mistake, Officer Marshall. Tread carefully, Mr. Wright, or you might wind up being the one making the mistake.
Now let's have another look at the video. Choices of creating freaking whatever.
Alright. So, as you can see, there's nothing here. The boom goes through. Mika's like, here I come. Hey man, what's up? Come here, I want to kill you. Oh. Still not there, right? Then boom, nothing. And then pause. There. Bringing our attention back to the security camera is a mistake I'm afraid you'll soon not forget, Officer Marshall. The days are short in Texas, and so is our tempers. Could you sum up what you say in 8 words or less? Very well. You can clearly be seen in this video. Exactly 8 words. Not bad, partner. A key lies in a certain locker shown in the video.
That locker with the white cloth sticking out? That was the witnesses, I believe.
Now then, let's rewind the video a bit. Let's us see Megan's dead. Boom, no cloth.
Oh, the white cloth, it's gone. What's the meaning of this, Officer Marshall?
When the crime took place, the white cloth wasn't there. Then it suddenly appeared. There's only one explanation. Officer Marshall, you were in the evidence room at the time of the crime. What's more, you opened your locker when the camera was turned away.
Did we see him on it?
Hold your horses. Sorry, partner, but you got the wrong man. What? So what if my locker was opened? That doesn't mean I'm the one who opened it. Murderer needed to hide something, so he opened the locker and stuck it in. It's not my fault he happened to choose mine. Why is everyone staring at me like I'm a wanted man? He doesn't know. This guy isn't just plain dumb. He really doesn't know. I hate to rain on your parade, but you're the only person who can open that particular locker. Oh yeah? I call your bluff. Say I opened that locker? Now prove it. Okay. Now you do that. Fingerprint sensor? We talked about this earlier today. The lockers only can be opened by the detectives they belong to. Well, what kind of crazy talk is this? Well, Detective Gumshoe did mention something about this.
In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There are only some people on the force who don't even know about the fingerprint locks.
So, Sheriff, what do you have to say in 8 words or less? I only got one word for you, partner. No!
Order. Witness, explain yourself.
If this is a joke, it's the worst I ever heard. I assure you, this is no joke, Officer Marshall. Now then, please tell us what you were doing in the evidence room at the time of the crime.
Ole! Please answer the question. Comprende.
Okay, you don't need to... What is he now? A bullfighter? That's alright, Officer Marshall. I believe we can figure the rest out from here.
We can?
Have a look at the floor plans. There's no place for someone to hide in the evidence room. Yeah, Officer Minkins didn't see Officer Marshall.
If that's so, then where was the witness?
Seems this one has an answer. That's right, the only possible conclusion.
Well then, let's hear it. Where was Officer Marshall at the time of the crime? He was the victim.
Officer Marshall was standing right here.
There, but that's where the victim to the Goodman was.
Correct. Unless the man wasn't Detective Goodman. I believe the victim in the video is Officer Marshall. It was you, dressed up like Detective Goodman. But that's preposterous. Officer Meekins witnessed the detective at the crime scene. Once he saw the man's face, he knew for sure. May I point out, though, that Officer Meekins did not know Detective Goodman. He also testified about the man's reaction when confronted. When he entered the evidence room, I asked him to show his card, sir. Yes, and how did Detective Goodman respond? He said they pulled a knife on me! Something about the officer's story puzzled me. If the man had his ID card, why didn't he just show it?
Yes, he would have needed it to enter the evidence room, so he must have been carrying it.
The answer is simple. He couldn't show it. As you see, Detective Goodman's picture is on his ID card.
Oh, I get it.
If he showed that, his cover would have been blown. Officer Meekins would have realized this man wasn't Detective Goodman. Do you have anything to say to this, Officer Marshall? You got quite an imagination, partner. We got a term for that. It's called circumstantial evidence. Circumstantial evidence? Still denying it? You're going to have to do better than that to break a detective. Unless you have hard evidence to prove I dressed up as the victim.
Can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition.
I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining.
Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any evidence proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that Officer Marshall dressed up as the victim?
Well, am I kidding? I don't have anything like that. I can see the fear in your eyes, partner. Seems you're the one who couldn't take the desert heat. Check his locker, dude. Can't be happening. So obviously it's the one. What can I do? Huh. It looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed. I'll pass it on to you what someone told me once I was just starting out. When you run into a wall with no place to go, return to the basics. The basics? For me, that would be what Mia used to tell me.
Phoenix, try thinking outside the box.
I shouldn't look for proof that Officer Marshall was in disguise. But rather, I should look for the evidence that came about because he was in disguise. Why do you think this locker was open in the first place?
What do you mean?
There's no reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the time of the crime. And he did, despite the chance he might be discovered later as I've been. Which means he didn't originally plan to open his locker.
According to your defense's argument, Officer Jake Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime. Then, after the crime was committed, he opened his own locker for some unknown reason.
The fact that a white cloth is sticking out of the locker seems to indicate that he opened it in order to put the cloth inside.
So, just what exactly is this piece of cloth?
Perhaps the video is the key to all our unanswered questions. I'll have any evidence, so this video is my only shot.
Very well, let's take another look and let's secure the tape. After committing the crime, the witness opened his locker to put away the white cloth. Please show us why your witness had to open his locker.
Okay. That sucks, because I have, like, no, like, freaking, like, bar here. Okay. I'm gonna get you! Here we go! Stab. Right there. Blood. For some reason, you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman and enter the evidence room, though I don't know what in yet. However, something unexpected happened. Officer Meekins barged in on you. When asked to show your ID card, you pulled a knife on him. However, Officer Meekins panicked, and the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood.
A bloody white coat?
You couldn't just walk out like that, so you hid the coat in your locker. Not bad, partner. Alright, there we are. Could have just said, like, look in the locker, dude.
Yeah, Officer Marshall, are you ready to tell us the truth?
Looks like I underestimated y'all. I hope you're happy now, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago, If you were only half as persistent then as you are today, we all wouldn't have been here now would we? Officer Marshall, tell the court what you did. All of it. All right. Seems the time has come. Marshall's confession. All right. I had to do it that day. I just couldn't stand by and let it die. I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out and managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on the camera. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15.
So you suppose the victim was really you?
But there's only one thing I still don't understand. Traces of a large quantity of blood were found on the floor in the evidence room. If no one was murdered, how could that be? Officer Meekins managed to cut his own hand. My guess is he's the donor. It was way too much blood for such a small donation. Alright, there wasn't anything to kind of present there. I had to do it that day. I just couldn't just stand by and let it die. When you say it, you mean... Do you even have to ask, partner? SL9 instance. 2 years have passed since the case was closed. It was going to completely end with the transferal that day. Not if I had anything to do with it. That incident's not over. What did you hope to accomplish by sneaking into the evidence room? When a case is closed, only that case's lead detective can look through the evidence. I wanted to have a look at it myself one more time, no matter what the cost. I don't care what anyone says, partner. The case is mine. But Officer Marshall wasn't in charge of that investigation. Why does he care so much about it? Hold on. It was, who was in charge? Who was technically in charge of this? Lana Sky and Damon Gann. Those are the executive investigators, so those are like the only people I can go to. That was my last chance. The day was my last chance. That's why I stole Detective's ID and dressed like him. I plan to take out the evidence. Why did you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman? If I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transferal, I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me anywhere. So you did it to fool the security camera.
You know, Detective's ID card.
I stole that the morning of the incident. So that really was why Goodman started filling out that lost item report. I returned his ID card. I left it on the floor in the prosecutor's parking lot. The ID card I found was left there by Officer Marshall. So essentially, you managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight. What do you mean, partner? I mean the fingerprint activated lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have been able to open that locker yourself. But you could because the rubber glove just happened to get stuck in the door. That means Detective Goodman must have opened the locker before Officer Marshall. Or at least somebody got that open. Okay, I wasn't Inspector Meekins, but I knocked him out. Pulled a knife on Officer Meekins and tried to drive him off. Let's just say I was a little surprised. I only planned on being in the evidence room for no more than 5 minutes. I didn't think anyone would actually come in during that short time.
Officer Meekins certainly is a one-in-a-million type of person. Mistaking a detective for an intruder and demanding the persona's ID.
I'll have to think about a little more about his raise this year. When did Edgeworth get so much influence? Anyway, he threw himself at me and I ended up cutting him slightly. Sorry it had to turn out that way, with me knocking him out and everything. By the way, what happened to your knife? Oh, you mean this one? I don't know what to say.
So you knocked Officer Meekins out and...
managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on camera. So, you did your research beforehand. Those who go into the desert unprepared don't live long, partner. I didn't think it would make a difference, though. The security tape is erased every 6 hours. If I had gone as planned, no footage would have been left. However, you bloodied your coat in the struggle with Officer Meekins.
If someone was in the security room when I came out, the jig would have been up. I opened our locker and stashed it in there.
What was Officer Meekins doing during that time?
What else? He was sleeping like a baby.
So what you're saying is, on that day,
There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15. At 5. Okay. But the blood found at the scene certainly indicates a crime took place.
What are you, blind? The victim shown on the tape is me, and I'm not dead yet, partner.
So you stole the evidence from the locker.
Actually, no, I didn't.
Why not?
When I opened the locker, the evidence was already gone.
what? You charged with where's that evidence?
It's still missing, Your Honor. Detective Gunn's locker was already empty. Someone else stole the evidence. Officer Marshall, may I ask you one thing?
Fire away, partner. It's a free country. Just remember, I'm also free to decide whether or not to answer.
Why did you do this? Stealing a detective's ID, injuring a police officer, is no small offense. Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This will have serious consequences. It can't just be forgiven with a simple cut in salary. Not that salary cuts are ever a valid solution.
Like I said, this isn't your case. This one is mine. And I'll do anything it takes to get an answer I'm satisfied with.
When he says an unusual amount of zeal, let's hear more.
I can't just forget the SL9 incident. You know why? Why? But that case was solved 2 years ago, was it?
That's the reason the evidence was stored in the evidence room.
Joe Dark was convicted for his crimes. One thing I can say for sure is he deserved his sentence.
I remember the Joe Dark case. It involved serial murders, didn't it?
I don't intend to complain how it turned out. There's something that still bothers me. Something went down in that trial. Something no one will talk about.
What happened?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out.
What? Why is he so concerned with that incident? You know, I should present him with what I think his real reason is. Okay, Alright, present the files then. Officer Marshall, I think I understand. I don't know why you care so much about the SL9 incident.
Sounds like you've been sipping too much cactus juice, partner.
Cactus juice. I have the SL9 incident file here. The name Marshall is mentioned in here. And a list of murder victims. Neil Marshall. Are you related to this man? Neil Marshall.
Yeah, I'm sure you've heard the name. 2 years ago.
The hell? Saw the trophy.
He received the same lousy prosecutor award you got.
What? A prosecutor?
Must be talking about the King of Prosecutors Award. Now I remember, Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He handled the SL9 case before I did.
That's right. He was killed. And the case fell into your hands.
What's his relation to you?
He was my brother.
Oh my god.
He was investigating the murders with Damon Gant, then Deputy Chief of Police.
Oh, that was the guy that was on the bottom left.
The group of detectives I was part of worked under them. We were desperate to prosecute the killer.
Holy crap, look at this dude.
Joe Dark. My brother fought Dark and was killed. That was the first time Dark left behind any evidence. That was all we needed. He was arraigned and incarcerated. The case was finally closed. At least according to the public records.
What do you mean?
My brother couldn't have been killed by Joe Dark. I knew my brother better than anyone. No one could have beaten him in a fight.
And that's it. That's your reason for your insane actions.
There's more to my brother's death than what the records say. No matter how much you try to hide it, you can't fool me.
Well, at least one thing's for certain. Now we know what happened at the police department on the day of the crime.
That was the last day this SL9 case could have been reopened. Not satisfied with the resolution, Officer Marshall planned to steal the evidence.
Disguising himself as Detective Goodman, he entered the evidence room. Officer Meekins confronted him, so he rendered him unconscious and fled.
Yes, this mystery has finally been cleared up. No murder took place at the police department that day.
But still at the prosecutor's office.
The things that happen by chance never cease to amaze. At exactly the same time as the murder at the prosecutor's office, this fake murder was going on at the police department.
Chance? It's gotta be more than just that.
So no one was murdered at the police department on the day of the crime. That means the murder in the prosecutor's parking lot was the real one.
Which, in turn, means only one person could have committed the crime. Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye.
But wait, the verdict wasn't reached in yesterday's trial.
Which is why we examined the incident at the police department today. But there's only one reason the defendant was not convicted yesterday. There yet remained a mystery that the simultaneous murder at the police department.
It seems to me this boy's got the draw on you, partner.
All the mysteries at the police department have been resolved, no doubt about it. Our sole murder took place at the prosecutor's office. The only suspect is Lana Skye, and the testimony is one Miss Angel Star is completely incontestable. If you have a response, make it a single word or less. I rest my case.
Damn.
You seem to start to reach the conclusion. There's no room for doubt.
Well done, Mr. Wright. Thanks to you, I didn't need to waste my time. Best proving the alleged murder at the police department.
There's no doubt what I proved today is true. The apparent murder in the security camera tape really was fake. I didn't realize that would end up proving Lana guilty.
Now that the time for the verdict's arrived, this court finds the defendant.
Hold it!
Frickin' Emma.
Your Honor, wait.
Emma?
The defense has an objection. A scientific objection. Right?
What do you mean, right?
Mr. Wright, are you this girl's guardian?
Your Honor, in a sense.
Please, Your Honor. All I am asking is for a minute of your time. Please hear me out. Mr. Edgeworth, please.
I don't want to leave any loose ends. You want a minute? I'll give you 3.
I was kind of in shock. I mean, finding out the SL9 incident referred to the Joe Dark killings.
Now that she mentions it, the names of both Sky's sisters were in that file.
That's when I figured it out. I mean, what Officer Marshall was trying to do that day. So I knew his fingerprint had nothing to do with the crime. That left only one thing. The other handprint.
You mean the traces of blood found on Detective Gumshoe's locker?
No fingerprints were found on it, right?
No, but I figured it out if I examined it scientifically. I had to be sure to find a clue. So, I ran over there and looked at it again.
So, did you find something?
No. Sorry, I guess I'm not much of a scientific investigator after all.
Oh, Emma. Is that all?
Please don't be mad. I'm just a high school student.
I'm just an attorney.
But Mr. Wright, the traces of blood were the only clue we have. If we could find something wrong with them. Please, Mr. Wright, you're a professional. If anyone saved Alana, it's you.
Me? Oh boy!
Time's up now then, Mr. Wright. With regard to the incident at the police department, does any reasonable doubt remain?
It appears the defense is troubled by the other blood mark. Looking at the floor plans, that handprint was discovered around here. Is there a problem with this?
Mr. Wright, I'm sorry I can't be of more use. But still, if you can't find anything wrong with that blood mark, Lana will be...
Please answer my question, Mr. Wright. We don't have all day.
Yes, Your Honor. If you ever needed to concentrate, it's now. What could be wrong with that handprint on Detective Gumshoe's locker? There be something I'm missing? Nope, no problem. No. This handprint left at the crime scene clearly shows a contradiction. The only thing that seems clear is your grasping, Mr. Wright.
You've been staring pretty intently at those floor plans. Tell me, is there a problem with them?
Yes, this is strange. Take a good look at the floor plans. Something is missing.
Missing? You mean something hasn't been drawn on there?
Yes, something that, when drawn, will completely change the meaning of the blood mark.
Please pray the defense isn't simply trying to buy time. Very well, Mr. Wright.
All this evidence here, there's got to be something I can use.
Question is, which item can you prove something is missing in the floor plans?
The badger. Because in the video, the badger was in front of the locker.
What about that piece of plywood? The blue badger, mascot of the police force. Defender of truth, guardian of proof.
Explain yourself, Mr. Wright.
Please, look at the floor plans of the crime scene. The blue badger is not here. So watch what happens when we put him in. This is where he was dancing at the time of the crime. Right in front of the locker.
Well, what?
Oh! That's right. So long as the blue badger's dancing here, it would be impossible to place a handprint at the spot of the locker. What? Okay. What the hell does that mean?
So that means, what does that mean?
It means it can't be done.
What are you saying? Blood traces were undeniably found in that locker.
Don't look at me. I didn't put it there.
Mr. Wright, think it through scientifically.
Emma.
On that afternoon, Officer Meekins was the one who brought the blue badger to the evidence room, right? After he put it down, it would have been impossible to leave a handprint on that locker.
So that must mean this blood mark was left there before the blue badger was brought in.
Just a moment, I would not allow such far-fetched balderdash in my courtroom.
Balderdash. It may sound far-fetched, Your Honor. That's the only possible explanation. February 21st, in the police department's evidence room, blood was spilled not once, but twice. But how? One time was captured on this tape, taken by the security camera. Come here! Officer Meekins cut his hand, from which a trivial amount of blood fell. The problem is, the other time, it was covering up where the handprint should have been, right? So that must mean whoever was that first one, that first guy, had to been it. Someone bled prior to the struggle shown in this tape. It had to been Detective Goodman when he was really murdered.
That's ridiculous. I refuse to accept your absurd claim.
The murder portrayed in the security tape has been proven to be a fake. However, that does not explain the blood mark found on the locker. Here we go.
So then, assuming this murder you purport really happened, when did it take place? I demand you show evidence that proves when it occurred.
When did the first incident occur? Had to be when that first guy went into the goddamn evidence room.
You surmise the defense claims that prior to Officer Meekins being cut by Jake Marshall, he was posing as Detective Goodman. Another incident took place in that evidence room.
That's right. The blood mark on the locker proves this.
Very well, then tell us. When did this first incident occur? As Mr. Edgeworth said, proof must be presented.
Proof that shows when the murder took place. There's only one piece of evidence that can show that.
Now then, would the defense please present this evidence? What shows when the first crime took place?
Alright, it has to be this, the ID card at 420. The 7777777 number. If the crime took place inside the evidence room, then the killer would have entered it. In order to do so, an ID card would have been required.
An ID card? Oh! The ID card record!
Officer Meekins brought the Blue Badger panel into the evidence room at...
Let's see here, 450. If the crime took place before that time, there would be 440. Ah! Ah! Just what have you done?
Or, no, actually, that's right. Edgeworth's freaking ID card was in there.
I never would have figured you had the nerve, boy.
Drop the act, witness. It doesn't take a lot of the thought to figure out it couldn't have been me.
Nope, I ain't getting it.
Yeah, I'm afraid I don't understand either.
Clear from the luminal test. The blood was there. However, when that second crime took place, both Officer Meek and Officer Marshall failed to notice the blood. That means the blood from the first crime was wiped away by the real murderer. I would have just 10 minutes to murder the victim, carry his body away, and clean up the blood. Unfortunately, that's physically impossible.
That would mean the crime must have taken place before Mr. Edgeworth entered the evidence room.
Let's look at the chart again. I was looking at 420. I didn't think about Edgeworth. There's only one other card number remaining. 777777.
Talk about a lucky number.
But wait, that doesn't make sense. How could Detective Goodman have entered the evidence room?
Since there's no record of his card being used beforehand, he must have entered along with the real murderer. That's the only plausible explanation. He went in with the 777777.
Mr. Edgeworth, please look into this ASAP. Find out whose ID number is 777777.
That's 17 too many, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I am unable to look up the owner of the ID card, at least at present.
What? Explain yourself, son.
The ID number 7777777 belongs to someone with the rank of captain or higher, someone who's a so-called executive officer. We're not the authority to inquire into such a person's identity.
Well, there's probably one person that we're talking about.
But that's ridiculous. Just how? I'm not finished talking, Mr. Wright. There's one situation in which we can be granted such authority. If an official charge filed against an executive is accepted.
An official charge? You're all alike, aren't you? With your cover-ups and your forgeries. That's how the prosecutor's office operates.
Shut up! I take pride in my work, Officer Marshall. Would appreciate it if you would keep your slander to yourself.
Slander, is it? Okay. Let me ask you a question.
Yes?
No, not to you, to her. The defendant sitting over there. Your own little executive.
Lana? Don't be stupid. She's been charged with murder. Of course we've looked up her ID number. And it's not 777777.
Don't play me for a fool, partner. That's not what I wanted to ask. All I want to know is one thing about that incident.
Yes or non-incident?
Answer me this, Chief Prosecutor. In that trial 2 years ago, did you really only use one legitimate evidence?
What? Do you need a witness to repeat his question, Chief Prosecutor?
I've heard him fine, Mr. Edgeworth.
2 years ago, I was in charge of the prosecution for that trial. At the time,
Occasionally, we felt the powerlessness of the law. At least, I did. Lana! I became our prosecutor in order to suppress crime with the law. But before I realized it, we were in the ones being suppressed by the law.
Defendant, just what are you saying?
I'll ask you again, Chief Prosecutor. During that trial 2 years ago, did you really present all the evidence in the court? Can you look at me, an investigator in that crime, in the eye and say that you did?
Chief Prosecutor, you didn't.
I don't have to, Officer Marshall.
What? Why won't you answer him?
Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to do in order for him to get the verdict he deserved. But Lana! Even if it involved forging evidence.
Wow.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
No.
No! Shut up! Shut the fuck up! Shut up!
Laws were saw such a thing like the chaos in the courtroom cannot be quelled. The conclusion of the trial would have to wait until the following day. Holy freaking crap.
All right, that's a way to end the trial. So they did actually forge the evidence in there. That's nuts. Wow. So she pretty much admitted that evidence was kind of forged to convict Joe Dark. That's nuts. Oh my god, dude! And the dude died because of that. Wow. All right. Okay, that was a better trial than the first one, I would say, because it was more obvious what I was trying to get to, or the idea was there. Just kind of figuring out what the kind of present was the problem there. But overall, that was a better investigation. I really actually enjoyed that trial. Damn it, I'm getting stuff mixed up now. That was a good trial. But now we're gonna be stuck on the investigation. Oh boy, this is shaping up to be something, that's for sure. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. We're getting very close to the end here. Seems like we're gonna go through this investigation, and I'm gonna guess that the last day is day 4, which is gonna be like the big reveal thing. We're probably gonna have to figure out who the freaking number is, and I can only guess one freaking person, but we'll just have to wait and see. Whatever. The trials are the better part of this case by far. Hopefully this investigation part isn't that bad or that long. We'll see what happens here. But anyway, guys, again, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, go ahead and leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel if you hadn't done it already, as it really does help me out. Anyway, guys, until next time, I will talk to you all later.